All right, so you will be using Clipchamp to create your final video. And so this exercise is just for you to kind of play around with Clipchamp to get used to it. So it has a lot of features you'll be using, including media, where you're going to record stuff, text, adding music, and then what are called stock video and stock images. So I already created a video for you to show you how you could upload your own pictures or pictures that you searched for. There's also already a lot of pictures that are in here, and this can be found in stock images or stock video. So, depending on what biome you are researching, you can look for things like if you were doing the coastal area, we could look for coastal area and see if we can find some pictures. So, here, for instance, we see a picture of an area that looks like a beach. So, this might be something we find down by Savannah. So if you wanted to add that in, we just add in the picture. And then you also have the ability here where you see the picture to change how long it's shown. And then also adding in text and audio, which are things that we will learn next. Another fun feature is stock video. So if you wanted to add in a video that you can voice over that's already created for you and okay to use, we can search for videos. So for instance, instead of we're focusing on the coastal area, let's say I was doing the forest area or the mountain area. Let's go mountains. So we're going to focus on mountains, and you can't be super specific because these are stock photos, but you can look for an area that looks similar to the biome that you've been researching, and you can share that. So, for instance, this picture looks a bit like a sunset that I could, or sunrise, that I could possibly see in the North Georgia mountains. So, I can look and watch what happens, and I do see that there's a sunrise. It does look very similar to what I've been researching. So, maybe I want to add in this video. And when I have my video, hold on, it's loading. It takes it a minute to import. And once I have my video, I'll have the ability to make sure that it's not overlapping what I already had. So if I go back to the beginning and I push play, this is what I see for my video. Well, I don't want to get rid of my coastal part. So I'm going to take this and slide it over so that I go from one to the next. And now I can also add information with the video or add in my voice, however I want to do that. So those are two other options besides only using the Google video or picture options that we talked about. Another thing that I wanted to show you today was how you can add in text. So let's say I want to introduce you to my project. And I'm going to slide on over and we go back to the beginning here. And I have to do an introduction from my teacher. So I'm going to choose what kind of font I want to use, but I want to make sure you can see it. So if you're not going to do it on a blank background, you probably want to use one of these types that have a background. So I like to use text box because it's really easy to see and it pops. And when I click text box, I can go in and write what I want you to see. So maybe I'm just doing mine as an example. Hi, I am Mrs. Adams. The text box will go ahead and fill where it is. If you want to change the font, the way the writing looks, you have that option in here, and you have lots of choices. If I want to change the color contrast, okay, maybe I don't like black being in the background. I would rather it be pink. I have the option to do that as well. Now, other things that you can do is I can come over here, and I don't want it to say, hi, I'm Miss Adams for this long. That's a really long time in my project for it to continue to say that. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to run it back to where I want it in my video. And I only want it for, let's say, like 3 seconds because that's plenty of time for someone to take a look at it. So I can see right here, that's 3 seconds, or maybe I just want it on this first slide. I can do that as well. And anytime I want to go check my work, I can just come here, push play, and see what's happening. I can also go to full screen if I would like, and I can see it as the viewer will see it. The last thing I wanted to show you real quick today was you can also come down here to graphics and you can look for things that are in here to add in. So these are like little annotations and figures. So arrows are one thing that might be helpful to you to add. So maybe I'm showing a map in my video or something that I want you to see explicitly. So for instance, I want to use this arrow to make sure you know that I'm Miss Adams. So I'm going to add it just where I had my text. And then I'm going to scroll on back again. Again, this takes a little bit of repeated work. But when I come back to here, I have, hi, I'm Miss Adams. And there's my arrow. Now it's not where I want it to be. So I've got to come back again and I've got to place it where I want it to be. So when I come back to here, I have my arrow and I can come in and I can grab it and I can fix what it looks like. So maybe I want it to be smaller. Maybe I want to turn it and then I want to bring it up here. Now I can't see it. So maybe I realize, oh, wow, this isn't a good color for this. So I can come in and I can look at more options and I can play around with all of these different features. So that's basically the very short intro. Today, you're going to take about 20 minutes and play around and just start making stuff within Clipchamp. And then you will share it with your teacher and she will share it forward to me so we can see what we need to work on in our next meeting.